Owen O'Flynn. 'Twas the morn of Samhain Eve, and Owen O'Flynn was waking late. For the night before, as every night, with a drink he'd had a date. When the sun had sunk midway past noon, to the tavern again he went, and ere the moon outside was up, full half his coin he'd spent. As the star-dogged moon sailed up o'erhead, young Owen's spirits were high. Of liquor strong he drunk his fill, and there was a glimmer in his eye. Owen O'Flynn rose to his feet and staggered toward the door. The barkeep tried to hold him back, a daunting, tiring chore, for Owen's home lay past a grove that Ferries was known to harbor. Yet such was Owen's mood that night, he displayed unusual ardor. He gained the door and stepped outside. The land about was dark. Not a living soul there was to see, not a single voice to hark. Outside the inn was tied his mount, a docile, wine-red steed. He swung right up, and to the barkeep rash Owen paid little heed. His ruddy mare then stamped her hoof, and tossed her glossy mane. Though her eyes were rolled back white with fear, he coaxed her down the lane. The north wind blew, and cracked his cheeks. The trees swayed to and fro. The woods that stood to either side were cloaked in black shadow. The tufted owl with golden eyes inside his nest did keep. None of the creatures of the night in the forest dared to creep. Anon the grove drew close at hand, a light there shone within. The air was filled with reeling tones from a devilish violin. Piercing high in shrilly tones, a piper joined the fray. A bawron kept a dizzying pace, from the beat it did not stray. Owen pulled upon the reins, his horse's nostrils flared. With twinkling eyes and smiling lips, enter the grove he dared. In the center grew a fairy ring of mushrooms puffy white, and floating all about the air were little fairy lights. Gathered in the middle of that mystic fairy ring were maidens of such beauty as the poets often sing. Each maiden had pure gold for locks, their breath was honey sweet, their eyes were bright as sapphires, and each one had snow-white feet. Round and round the ring they danced, their gowns trailing behind. The fiddle played a lilting strain, the pipe replied in kind. For 3 full sets did Owen watch, then gave a joyous shout. As if they were all of one mind, the fairies turned about. The maidens, once so beautiful, now turned to twisted hags. Once clothed in shimmering silken gowns, they now wore mossy rags. Like a statue, Owen O'Flynn became. His jaw had fallen slack. His mare, however, was not transfixed. She fled through the forest black. 3 times poor Owen nearly fell, as the hags came on apace. Trees closed in from all around, and branches lashed his face. They broke into a clearing then, despite the fairy's ire. Ahead they spied, oh joy to see, the light of his hearth fire. Forward they leapt with strength renewed. The house would end this travail. But fast the hags caught up with him and tore the poor mare's tail. Owen, from his saddle thrown, tumbled upon the ground. And as the hags then fell on him, a last, heart-wrenching sound. So if you go out for a drink, and it happen to be Samhain, take heed of what the barkeep says, and remember poor young Owen.